All right, guys, today we're going to do a little review of some of our vowels out walking. So remember, when we see our vowels out walking, only the first letter is going to say its sound, and the second one is going to be silent because he's looking for Red Robot to make sure that he is not going to steal any of the vowels. So here's our first pair of vowels out walking that I want you to say the sound for. So you remember, if we see Mr. E and Mr. E, only Mr. E is going to make his sound, and this Mr. E is going to be looking out for Red Robot, so we're only going to hear the sound E. What about the next one? We learned about this one just a couple weeks ago. Mr. O and Mr. A is going to say O. Very good. So Mr. O is going to make his sound O, and Mr. A is looking out for Red Robot, so he's not going to say any sounds, like in the word road or boat. All right, the last one, or next to last one we're going to do is Mr. A and Mr. I, like in wait or bait. We know we're going to hear the A sound and not the I sound, because only A is going to make his sound while I is looking for Red Robot. The last one is EA, one of the very first pairs we learned about. EA is going to make the E sound because Mr. A is too busy looking out for Red Robot, so we're going to hear E. No sounds for A. All right, the new vowel pair that we're going to learn about this week is Mr. I and Mr. E working together. If we see Mr. I and Mr. E and they're walking down the road, we know that when two vowels go walking, only the first one's going to do the talking, the second one's going to be silent. So what sound do you think I and E are going to make when they work together? I. Very good. We're just going to hear Mr. I saying his sound, and he's going to be silent because he's looking out for Red Robot. So I want us to look at a couple of words that might have the I sound in them. I want you to notice where in the word this I sound goes, if it goes in the middle or at the end. When we learned about AI and AY, we learned that AI normally goes in the middle of a word and AY goes at the end. So the rule you can normally think of for IE that says I, it's normally going to go at the end. Here's the first word that we're going to spell together, is the word I. Now remember, it's not just going to be P-I because Mr. I doesn't like to stand on the end of words by himself. So we're going to have I, P-I-E. We can roller coaster it together. I, just those two sounds, but 1, 2, 3 letters. Now I want to change it to I, like I'm going to tie my shoes. Can you tell me what letter I need to switch out and put at the beginning? If you said T, you're exactly right. I'm going to tie my shoes. The last one we're going to do is something that we tell you never, never to do, and that is to lie. We never want you to lie and say you did something when you really didn't. We're going to put L, we're going to put Lucy Lamplight right there at the beginning to make the word I. We can rubber band this one, I. There we go. All right, the other sound we're going to learn about this week also makes the I sound, but it's not just 2 letters, it's actually 3 letters. I-G-H. Now, when you see these letters, you might think it says I-G, and that's a silly sound. I've never heard that one in words before. So when I see I-G-H, there's something we know about Harry Hatman, something that he really hates. He hates lots of noise. So when Golden Girl stands beside Harry Hatman, she tries very, very hard to be very, very quiet, not to disturb him. So we know that Mr. I is going to say his name because our vowelmen love to say their name. And Mr. I loves what a good job Golden Girl is doing being quiet for Harry Hatman. And so Mr. I always gives her an ice cream cone. So when we see I-G-H, they're just going to make the I sound. Now I want us to look at our picture. Normally we would do this on the screen together, But I want us to look at our picture of our story, and I want you to help me look for some things that might be happening in this picture that have the I sound. We can look what's happening to night. It's midnight at the open air theater in Letterland, and there are knights fighting on the stage. It's dark, but there is a bright spotlight. I think that's a spot. Oh, there it is. The bright spotlight is shining on the knights. The people watching look quite frightened. You might be able to see their faces in the moonlight. Lucy Lamplight is all right because she has her own light to show that ice cream can be bought on the right. So look at all those words that have the I sound in the middle. So we know that most of the time, almost always, IE is going to go on the end to make the I sound, and IGH is going to go in the middle to make the I sound. So let's spell a couple of words together that have the I sound in the middle. The first one we're going to spell is the word night. Night. So we have to have the I. You go to bed at night. We could roller coaster this one, or you can rubber band it if you would like to, but I want you to read it with me. Night. The next one we're going to do is light. How could I change this word night to make it the word light? There's only one letter that I need to switch. I need to take away the N and put an L to make the word light. You can rubber band this word, light, light. Now the last word I want to spell kind of breaks the rules. This is the word I. Not like hi, how are you? This is hi, like you have to reach up really high to reach something off the top shelf. The word hi is H-I-G-H. I'm gonna reach up really high, or you can jump really high on the trampoline. H-I-G-H. That one's a little bit tricky. Now the last thing we're gonna do today, normally on our day that we introduce our new sounds, we would do our word detectives. But since we're not together, here's what I would like for you to do. I would like for you to grab a piece of paper and a pencil, or if you have a whiteboard and a marker, you could use that as well. And we're gonna spell a couple of words all together. Normally when we're together, I would pass out my letters and let different people be letters, but since you're not really here, we're just gonna do it all together. So you need to decide if it's gonna have I-E-I or I-G-H-I. I'm gonna tell you the word. I want you to think and spell it the very best that you can, then we're gonna spell it together. Here's the first word, I. Just like we spelled earlier, you can I your shoe. Go ahead and write the word tie on your paper or on your board. Do it the very best that you can. I'm gonna spell the word I. I know that the I sound is on the end, so it's gonna be T-I-E, tie. If you didn't spell it correctly, go ahead and write the word tie. Next, I want to make it the word tied. I am glad that my friend tied my shoe for me. Tied. Now this one kind of breaks the rules. It's not I in the middle like we would normally spell it. We're gonna have T-I-E-D. Because remember we talked about how you might have a root word, like when we add S to make it more than one, or ing to make it our ing sounds. We can have tie and add our suffix to the end, tied. It's something that already happened, T-I-E-D. We're gonna do 3 more words. The next word we're gonna do is light. Light. I like to play outside when it is still light. Go ahead and write the word light. if you listen, you can hear that the I sound is in the middle of the word. This word follows all the rules. Light. If you need to correct your spelling, you can go ahead and do that before we do our last two. The next word we're going to spell is the word fight. This is something your parents tell you not to do with your siblings. Do not fight with your brother. You only have to switch out one letter to make the word fight. Here's the word fight. Fight. The last word we're going to spell today is the word bright. Listen for that R blend at the beginning. Bright. The sun is very bright in my eyes. Bright, B-R-I-G-H-T. That's a really long word, but it doesn't have very many sounds. So we have to be careful to really listen for where our I sound is in our word. All right, guys, today your work, after you finish spelling your words, all that we're gonna ask you to do today, just like we normally do for our first day of Letterland homework, is to take your Letterland list and just read over your words for this week. That's all that we want you to do today. And then tomorrow we'll do a video of Quick Dash for you guys to review some of our old sounds. All right, great work today, and we'll learn some more tomorrow.